So guys, the last video appearance or the last general appearance of Mazi Ekpa was on November 2024 before the Finland convention that was held between November to December. So he was actually been arrested before then, but the last time we could actually see him on TV or on video was on November before that arrest and before that convention. And since then, we've never seen him appear or seen his picture or seen any of his video. But the recent appearance of Mazi Ekpa has actually sparked several reactions when he was being presented in Finland court in Lahti, Finland. And many people believe that Ekpa is actually their savior. Several Biafrans believed Ekpa is sent by God. Mazi Ekpa is sent by God to bring freedom to the Biafra people. So to all Biafrans and all freedoms or lovers of freedoms watching this video, I want to welcome you to this YouTube channel, Discovery Africa TV. So I'm just going to give you some breakdown. Yes, finally, it was actually being charged by the Finland authority. You know, when people saw that picture and saw the video, many Biafrans were very curious and they felt like hope all is going well with Mazi Ekpa, because many are like assuming he was being brought to Nigeria. That means something worse than this would have actually happened to him. You can see now. I'm just trying to compare the video he has, his recent appearance to the appearance he has been having in 2023, 2024. You can see that there's a kind of difference, you understand. Now, he was finally being arraigned and being, his trial started last month, 30th of May 2025, and it still continue. I'm just going to give you some breakdown. The Finland government actually brought some witness to witness against Mazi Ekpa, and one of the witness was actually a neighbor, who happened to be a neighbor to Ekpa, and he began to say several things. He brought video, he brought audio recording, and when the lawyer of Ekpa was to respond to it, they said maybe those audios were AI generated and all of that. And there's a particular statement that the neighbor said that Ekpa normally say during some of his pitch and all of that, and it's woto, and they describe it as maybe a terrorist statement or statement of criminal statement and stuff like that. Now at this point in time, several Biafran is curious because they don't know what the fate of Ekpa is at the moment. They don't know if probably the Finland government will sell him out to Nigeria, and all of that. But his lawyer has been trying everything possible to defend him and to ensure that justice prevails at the end of the day. And all of what the witness that was being brought by the Finland government, the Ekpa lawyer actually counter all of those evidence that is being brought. They say Nnamdi is facing his own currently at the moment in Nigeria with all the DSS evidence, DSS witness and all of that. It's the same way Ekpa is also facing his own in Finland. But let me leave you to what happened in this video, to all of the expose that was being done about that Finland court proceeding, and even in respect to the Nnamdi case in Nigeria, what we're expecting to happen at the end of the day. So this is Discovery Africa TV. Do watch the video, like, share, and drop your comment. Freedom, 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 USB. Thank you, guys.
The first trial of a Biafran agitator outside Nigeria has kicked off in Europe that will have ramification on how Nigerians in the diaspora support Biafra agitation outside Nigeria if the prosecutor gets what he wants, which is 6 years term for Ekpa. And already Ekpa has denied all the charges as the trial of Ekpa has begun in Finland. That is what we're looking at right now. The implication of a conviction of Ekpa. And we also look at why it is also difficult to convict Ekpa. But if the prosecutor gets its way, it is asking for a 6-year term, prison term for Simon Ekpa if he is found guilty in all the charges laid against him. But Simon Ekpa and his lawyer are insisting that he is innocent. And he has already told the court that they should not rely on information from Nigeria, saying that Nigeria is not a country. You can rely on information from it to prosecute him. So we're going to look at this, what is going on in Finland right now. But what is not in doubt is that the trial of Simon Ekpa has begun. And you will also see that, like I said in this channel before, there was no mention of Simon Ekpa going to be extradited to Nigeria. No charges. In fact, if he's convicted, which his lawyers are insisting there that he cannot be, because they are going to be able to show that he's innocent. But if he's convicted, the prosecutor is demanding for 6-year term, and he's going to spend it in Finland and not in Nigeria. Now let us look at how the case has gone so far in respect of Simon Ekpa. Because the court, as I said earlier on, has begun the trial of Simon Ekpa over alleged Biafran terrorism agitation. Okay, so the trial has begun. The Finnish government in mid-May charged Simon Ekpa with public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intention and participation in a terrorist organization or terrorist group. Now, according to what I gathered from my own independent investigation, the prosecutor has also to prove that IPOB or Simon Ekpa, the IPOB, they say he's supporting IPOB, did not support Biafra. So the prosecutor has to prove to the Finnish courts that IPOB is a terrorist organization. Because as far as we know from our own investigation, IPOB is only a terrorist organization in Nigeria. There is no country in Europe or anywhere in the world that consider IPOB a terrorist organization. So the lawyers of Ekpa are also going to argue that IPOB in itself is not a terrorist group. So if it is not a terrorist group, if Europe, which Finland is a member of the European Union, does not recognize IPOB as a terrorist organization, therefore you cannot say that he is supporting a terrorist group. So it's going to be an interesting development as we go on with this matter. Now, the Finnish Nigerian citizen, that's Simon Ekpa, he appeared before the Pajat Home District Court on Friday to face treason-related charges in a preparatory hearing, according to Yale, a Finnish newspaper. A Finnish newspaper has reported about what happened in the court. And that's what we are relating with, what happened in the court at the trial of Simon Ekpa has started. Now, the prosecutors allege that Ekpa has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence of Biafra in southeastern Nigeria. The prosecution argued that the Biafran agitators' separatist activities conducted online and coordinated from Finland may constitute terrorism under Finland law. May constitute terrorism under Finland or Finnish law. The prosecutors are also demanding a 6 years prison term for Ekpa. According to the prosecutor, Samba Hakala, who is the state prosecutor, he said, we have a great deal of evidence regarding this Ekpa individual, online activities, and communication. So they claim that they have a great deal of evidence regarding Ekpa's online activities and communications. The prosecutor also acknowledged that obtaining detailed information about the alleged terrorism-related act will be difficult, considering that the activities are believed to have taken place in Africa. So the prosecutor has also come to the realization that it will be difficult for them to pin Simon Ekpa with any terrorism activity in Nigeria, because whatever is being alleged it happened in Nigeria. So you have to be able to tie whatever evidence you have online with what happened on ground. And the prosecutor said that they are going to find it difficult. Already the prosecutor is the state prosecutor is already confessing that this is not going to be an easy job to put this guy away, because we have what he said, or is alleged to have said, online, but we cannot be able to tie it to individual alleged terrorist activities in Africa, because you have to link the two together for it to be able to be convincing beyond reasonable doubt that what Ekpa said led somebody to do so and so thing. And you have to pinpoint it within the period he said that thing and that incident happening. It's a very tough one for them, but the prosecutor has admitted that it's going to be difficult because the alleged activities, they are not aware of it. They are going to be basing it on the information from Nigeria, on the evidence from the Nigerian government. Already, Simon Ekpa is saying Nigeria is not a country you can rely on information from Nigeria. Nigerians are deceptive. They can't tell you the truth. So that is now left for the judges to see who to believe. Whether to believe the Nigerian government, who the lawyers of Ekpa are saying are unreliable. You can't trust anything coming from this country. Then, or they are going to believe what is coming from Nigeria. That is up to the judges to determine at the finished court. Now, at the pre-trial hearing on Friday, Ekpa, through his lawyer, Kel Gumaros, raised concern about the reliability of information coming from Nigeria. So his lawyer has also raised it, Ekpa raised it, that the information from Nigeria cannot be relied upon. And that is particularly so when you know that the allegations against IPOB is coming from Nigeria, and Nigeria is the only country in the world that considers IPOB a terrorist organization. So the prosecutor will also be looking at it. Why is it that it's only Nigeria that is considering IPOB, that considers IPOB a terrorist organization? We know that Hamas is a terrorist organization. There are people who believe they are not. But if you look at around the world, in most of Western Europe, in most European countries, in most of the Western world, even in some Arab countries, you can't raise Hamas flag in Saudi Arabia. So these are issues that Hamas is well known as a terrorist organization. Al-Qaeda is well known as a terrorist organization. Islam is well known as a terrorist organization. Boko Haram is a terrorist organization. Not only that, it's recognized worldwide as a terrorist organization, other African countries recognize it as such. It's operating in several countries in sub-Saharan Africa and the Sahel. But IPOB, why is it that it's only the Nigerian government that considers it a terrorist organization? So that's part of the challenge that they are going to face in proving that Simon Ekpa was supporting a terrorist organization. And so all these are issues that will come up to be able to convince anybody that IPOP is a terrorist organization and that Simon Ekpa is supporting a terrorist organization and all that. It's going to be interesting. We're going to, in this channel, we're going to follow it to see how it unfolds. But this is the early stage of this matter. And of course, you and I know that Simon Ekpa himself was arrested on November 21, 2024, with about 4 other persons. The 4 other persons had already been discharged. They were not charged of anything. So we're going to see how this thing pans out. But the fact is that if Simon Ekpa goes down on this, it's going to affect the way Nigerians in diaspora, who is alleged that some of them support IPOP, the way they will show their support for IPOP will eventually have to change altogether. It will affect the dynamics, and it may have ramification for other European countries. So that's why people should pay attention to what is happening in Finland. As I said earlier on, Finland is an European Union country. So if he's able to convict Simon Ekpa, it may have repercussion for other agitators who are living in Europe. Because right now, European Union does not consider IPOP a terrorist organization. United States does not consider IPOP a terrorist organization. UK does not consider it a terrorist organization. In fact, the present chief of staff to President Donald Trump, the present chief of staff, you can go and verify it, has been a lobbyist for IPOP in the United States. So a United States top-ranking official like that cannot be lobbying for a terrorist group if IPOP is a terrorist group in the eyes of the international community. Okay, so that's where the things are presently. But what you can be sure is that this channel is going to give you the authentic and unbiased assessment of the outcome of the court results as they begin to unfold as the trial has started. I don't know what to think about what the defense Ekpa has already made, saying that Nigeria is not a country you can rely information from it. And then the prosecutor saying that we are going to have challenge because this thing they are accusing Ekpa happened in faraway Africa. Even though we have documentary evidence of him saying things on social media, we can't be able to tie, we find it difficult to tie those things he said with what happened somewhere in Africa.